California. As you can see, the fans, a little bit of rain isn't going to spoil their fun. They're all fired up. And iced up, I should say, not to be biased, because in just a few minutes we're going to get our first
Are those
look
baguettes?
at this year's 1v1 tournament.
Is that the evolution of the Thunder Stick?
That's awesome.
Yeah, really awesome. As said, the guys out there, they are ready to go because the 1v1 tournament is going to go here soon, and we're going to take a first look at it. That means that both Fire and Ice will get a chance to show what they've got mano a mano, Freak.
Yeah, so basically 3-win conditions, get 100 CS first, which is how Frog is going to do it. Get first blood is how Fig is going to do it. Or kill the turret first, which is how every AD carry is going to try to do it. Which tends to mean you often see ranged champions who are lane dominant, who can push, who can CS, who can kill the turret. Or you see a melee champion who goes hard for the all-in. And you have about 12 minutes to get that first blood kill before they outscale you with health items.
Yeah, there's never a very, very long game, although at IWCA we did see a couple of players going for the long game and then seeing, can I get the tower, will I get to 100 CS, or will I just straight up kill him? Are there any secret tidbits here that we have to look out for that are not in those rules?
In terms of like what people are going to be running, I think we're going to see a lot of people going for like a 0, 12, 18 sustain build and getting Grasps of the Undying where they can continually just get HP back and then also take the Mastery where you have more mana regen. So they're just getting both stats over time when they're trading. So I think we're going to see a little bit of that, and that might be the prevalent strategy here that starts winning games because you open up more options where you can go for the CS, and then you put your opponent on the back foot where they say, oh, wait, well, I guess I have to fight him, and then you can just win those trades and then regen back up. So I think that opens so many options.
Yeah, and Flash as a summoner tends to lose a little bit of value, which then makes the fights a lot more scripted, which then in turn, just like Freaks pointed out, you know, those ranged zone champions that can focus on CS, that they will just run exhaust, and any all-in attempt will be incredibly scripted. You'll see it coming. You need kind of 2 all-ins, one where you fake out the exhaust and then go all-in again. Yeah. That's the entire reason that, this whole meta kind of gets, I wouldn't say boring, but just like more predictive. So I hope people come out with the snowballs, go for the all-in, just the Annie delivery system with the Tibbers, something like that.
Yeah, I believe both sides each get 3 bans, and it's blind pick. But once they're both locked in, you get time to adjust, and you see the other person's.
Runes Mastery Summoners to make sure, Yeah,
let's take a look at the bracket and see all the players that will be going mano a mano here. And we're starting off with a very hyped first matchup. And then Martin versus Clearlove, Dyrus versus Kira, Bjergsen versus Smurf. Those are the first 3 that will come seeing up. But we have 7 here today. Prey, Huni, Madlife, Demonko, Meteos, Rookie, Westdoor, Lex. So a lot of good things to start off with in our first 7 matches. Any one of the first that you guys are really looking forward to? Dyrus, can he beat Kira? Big question.
I don't know. Kira seemed to take the IWCA one very seriously and came out with some strategies that I'm a big fan of. I want to see if he's got more. And if Dyrus watched those games, ban Lucian, ban Caitlyn, see what else he has and test his champion pool.
Might want to ban Jax.
Might want to ban Jax, just for the PTSD.
Yeah, is it now already tilted? Like, is Jax top all it took, and now Dyrus tilted for the rest of the tournament? I mean,
we'll have to find out.
We'll see.
Yeah, excuses already.
Ban Cassio as well.
Yep,
we'll be good.
He's running out of bans at that point. So, I just honestly,
I thought Greco wanted to say something.
No, I had a point, but I totally lost it.
Oh, you lost
it became dull very fast.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Just that's the usual.
You lost the line. It's along the. Okay.
Just carry on.
Carry on,
and line
Freak.
are related. You know, they're similar dimensions. And, okay. No, go ahead. Just please cut me off. I'm just.
Okay, I'm cutting you off.
Digging yourself deeper.
All games are best of 1 until we get to the final 4, and those are then best of 3, which is always a change of dynamic coming in there. But before that, we have to run through the entire bracket, which is very interesting. And we mentioned Kira already, and it's very interesting to me because he realized as the 1v1 was going on that it would be more important for him to get further, and he really zoned in on those champions. And it wasn't that he picked Caitlyn and picked Lucian, and it was GG easy. I mean, they were facilitating his win, but he showed some incredible moves on that as well, which leads me to think, I mean, you guys have said a lot that junglers will be at the disadvantage in this bracket. But if anything, Clearlove versus Martin in that first one, that could prove the difference.
It really could. I don't know so much about what Clearlove's going to be able to pull off in this, but just junglers all around, I would be extraordinarily impressed if any jungler from any region makes top 4. Because that's crazy. And I'd say, why are you a jungler? Just go be a laner.
Pick a more skill-intensive role, have someone else. I mean, you saw, like Score was an AD carry, picks up the jungle role, becomes the all-star like the very next year. As we can tell, the truly gifted players, the marksmen, can just pick up an inferior role, no problem.
Well, aren't you a jungler as well? You're both. You're
I mean, that's the meme.
So
here's how the whole Freaks of Jungle thing came out. I'm such a terrible top laner that I couldn't played top lane in like internal playtests for champion spotlights. Like, I couldn't win lane as Release Aurelia. Like, this is how bad I am at playing top lane, so I just made everything a jungler, and that became the joke.
And looking at the supports, really, they generally don't really thrive that well in 1v1s too. But we have some players like Afram who has former marksman experience. Mad Life he's Mad Life, so he can play anything. Unluckily for Afram though, he will end up, I believe, in the bracket that will have Froggen and Faker in at that side, so he will not make the top 4, I'm afraid, because I think whoever's going to be coming out of Froggen Faker duel is just likely to take the entire side of that bracket. Want to see how Doublelift plays? I think he has really good mechanics, but 1v1 is still a little bit about brain, so he may fall there a little bit. But yeah, it's just fun to see 1v1. It's just pure intricate skill that doesn't translate well to like 5v5. It doesn't matter who's the better player in general, but it just highlights one aspect of the play.
Yeah, you say it's skill. A lot of it is also your setup and what your plan is coming in. Yep. Because some people, I think we're going to see it a lot, will come in and be like, oh, I'm just going to play AD Malzahar and I'll kill him. And then after you do like the first trade, you go, oh God, I've made a terrible mistake. And then you realize you're going to slowly lose that game. And I think we're going to see a decent amount of that. But I want to see what Faker comes out with here, because Faker, this gives you just full sandbox mode. Nothing's going to happen. You go straight at the guy. 1v1. What is your setup? Have you crunched the numbers? Also, his 1v1s haven't been too great. He died to Westor 1v1. He died to Febivin 1v1. Last 1v1, I remember him killing Pawn as Ryze, right? So I want to see what Faker can do 1v1.
It was all the build-up for this.
I know.
It was all planned from Faker.
Give him hope so you can tear him down.
I do think that the players are ready, so we're going to head outside and look at those players facing off.
Some measure greatness by KDA, others by solo queue ranking. Some measure it by the number of regional accomplishments someone has, and others by the number of world championships they've won. But the true test of a champion lies in some of the greatest words spoken by some of the most historic minds in solo queue. 1v1 me, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2015 All-Star 1v1 Tournament. Now, you may have noticed that there are 4 men on the stage at any given moment. That is because one pair is warming up while the other one is doing battle for glory. So do me a favor, ignore the ones on my right and join me in welcoming our first 2 combatants to take to the Howling Abyss. On the blue side, representing Team Fire, reigning world champion and 2015 World's MVP, Mara! And on the red side, representing Team Ice and China's LPL, he made a quarterfinal appearance at Worlds. I love him. You love him. It's Clear Love! Well, gentlemen, it's time to go. So good luck. Have fun. You're gonna need it.
What's hotter right now, these 2 players or Dash's pipes after that intro? Stress, this is going to be a good one.
I thought you were going to say, or his hair, his hot pink hair.
Oh, and that's fantastic, too, but we'll get into it a little bit later. We can talk about the Dash Chromas all we want, but this matchup right now, this is a world champion, an MVP of this world, versus the MSI champion, China's favorite jungler. This is Clear Love, man. It may be a disadvantage for him, but he's got a lot going for him.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, Clear Love can do well, Clear Love can do well. Marin got MVP at Worlds by wrecking nerds. 1 versus 1, sometimes 1 versus 2 in the top lane. It was like, Smeb, who's that? Crush him in the top lane. 1 versus 1. Well, all I'm saying is
right.
At IWCA, which was the last 1v1 tournament, there was only one jungler that really even bungled his way through the bracket, and that was Carbon, because he kind of lucked his way through with a couple of, kind of lucky plays in the 1 versus 1. But nevertheless, he declared himself as the O's Faker, but we're going to see a real hype matchup here for our first one of the day. I'm looking forward to this one, and we are into the picks and bans.
Already Gangplank taken off the board for Team Fire. Marin does not want to have to deal with that one. And Lulu, of course. We talked about the try-hard picks. Maybe we'll see some fun in here. But we have been seeing a lot of the AD carries, so I wouldn't be surprised to see those.
Lulu is super annoying in 1v1s. You just pick up a Doran's Blade to start, and between the picks damage on your auto attacks plus just the added damage from the Doran's Blade, just so annoying to deal with. You can never kill her when she gets to 6 seed.
Speaking of annoying, though, Lucian, he's been a very, very popular pick in the 1v1s we recently did see with, some fantastic plays coming out of Kira alone on that champion. Kennen is also banned away, so Marin just has 1 left. He decides to spend it on the Quinn. What does Clearlove decide to get rid of?
It's got to be Caitlyn here. I mean, we also saw a lot of Urgot bans. Urgot on Howling Abyss tends to be pretty good. Nunu as well is another one of those champions that is very annoying to deal with. He just consumes up a minion every time he trades, throws a snowball at you and just waddles away and just says, okay, well, you're never going to beat me. There's a lot available right now that can be picked and probably should be picked as well. Caitlyn is pretty much the quintessential neutralize everything champion in a 1 versus 1. You just farm to 100 CS and just win the game.
That's not going to be happening on Team Ice's side, though. Clearlove goes all out, goes against his own element here, and he picks up the brand.
He does, but Brand is super annoying. I actually tried to cheese pulse with this in a 1 versus 1.
How'd that work for you?
He played Heimerdinger and cheesed me back, and it really outplayed me. Brand, with the added damage that you get from the Deathfire touch, just means you burn people down time and time again. And as you said, they've kind of gone against their element here.
Well, you know, just because they're both out of their element doesn't mean they can't lay the smackdown. Lissandra's picked up. She's on her home turf here on the Howling Abyss. And we'll have to see if Marin is up to the task to dousing the fire of Clearlove this time around.
So as a reminder, both picks, once they've been locked in, will be shown to the opponents. You can change your summoners and just, you know, change your runes and masteries to depend on exactly what you want for the matchup. Also something, the summoners will get updated just before we go into game as well, so it will not just be what you see on the screen. Generally, we saw a lot of Exhaust Ignite just to go all in.
Snowball's enabled too, that's worth noting. You've always had the
is.
possibility, but you don't necessarily need it on these two champions.
It's nice for the true damage that you get from it and a gap close if you need that kind of added functionality on a champion's kit, but generally Exhaust Ignite just shuts down any kind of all-in, and if you manage to hold your Ignite while the opponent uses both summoners, you have a massive advantage in that 1 versus 1 situation.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't wait to see who takes this one out. It really is a matchup of two heavyweight players out of two very powerful regions, and I have a feeling that whoever wins this one has the potential to go very far in this 1v1 tournament. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Howling Abyss. It's Marin versus Clearlove.
Oh, this is disgusting from Clearlove already. I like it. We were saying, you know, with the cheese picks coming out of the jungler, even running Spirit Fire Brand as well. The best Brand skin, I feel, since it got released. But Corrupting Potion as well. Everything about this build seems to be all about the tick damage. You hit them with one ability, the burn from Brand's passive, already 2% of your max health every second for 4 seconds, up to 8%. Plus you add Corrupting Potion, plus you add Deathfire Touch. Ugh, just... This just makes my skin crawl even thinking about how hard it's going to hit with the first Pillar of Flame.
Well, you know, if there's anything I learned from playing Pokemon, fire is usually pretty strong against ice. And we're just going to go ahead and see what Clearlove's able to pull off. But Marin, you know, he didn't get that MVP for nothing. He's playing an actual top lane champion.
Ooh, sidestep already out of Marin. Dancing Shoes are on. The other key thing here is we're on Howling Abyss, but wards are actually enabled from the trinket slot. It's really important to get that first ward down into the bush. You can see that it's already been established by Clearlove, but the response here out of Marin with Lissandra, he's just been queuing the wave. Clearlove's been trying to land the Pillar of Flame, and the experience difference between the two champions early on is going to potentially punish Clearlove, but Marin is taking a few pillars here, and it is starting to chunk through his health.
It is. However, as you mentioned, there is that CS differential going for Marin right now. It's very, very slight, but of course, that is one of your win conditions, getting first to 100. He's already healed back up. Post is coming in handy early, but he does take a little bit more damage. The Ice Claw comes out. Clearlove's just out of range, though, and he's dodging away from it.
Oh, Marin also just judging the tower distance as well, making sure he didn't get hit. Another key thing for anybody that, you know, this is their first time watching a 1 versus 1, Marin is actually in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, there's that pillar again, and he's got to be very careful here. Clearlove does not take nearly as much in return, a bit lower on the mana scale, but he's very low on the CS.
And that is actually all of Marin's potions used here as well. So Marin, even though he now has a level advantage, cannot really trade with Clearlove. Recall is enabled. And the other really key thing as minions push up to a tower, Marin gets hit and stunned!
Ignite! Exhaust is down, he's gonna try to claw his way to freedom, but he's burning!
He's done it!
First blood! 2.5 minutes!
Oh, Clearlove, I doubted you. I doubted you to begin this 1 versus 1 tournament. And that's the world's MVP down already.
Yeah, and we got a jungler moving on to the next round. I mean, we didn't always expect that was gonna happen, but smile on Clearlove's face. He takes one for Team Ice, chalk it on the board.
It's the brand, man. This champion. If you just hit those pillars, that's all it is. Pillar into a stun. Oh, they just burn down. Yeah. Disgusting.
Well, that sets up a jungle battle, too, in the next round, because he goes up against the Flash Wolves Karza.
Yeah, looking at it, yeah, Kaze was the player that got the
First
buy
buy,
on the
yes.
top side of the bracket for this one. So that is a good start now if your Team Ice managing to at least put that first player up against Kaze, because otherwise you then look at it, Team Fire would actually have a player immediately into the quarterfinals if Team Ice didn't win that one. So a good pickup to start this one off.
Absolutely. I mean, Team Ice has really been just kind of wrecking through the competition in all of our tournaments, or all of this tournament so far. But there's plenty more 1v1s to play, and we're going to keep on going with it. But really, fantastic start to this one. It was quick, but it was clean.
It was quick. And that's the thing is, you'll either see games be like 2.5 minutes long, or 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 minutes when you get up to 100 CS. So there really is a big disparity. It's either all before 6 or nothing until 100 CS.
Absolutely. Now, as we look towards our next match, we're going to hear Dyrus' game plan for this 1v1.
I have absolutely no plan for 1v1s. It's something I'm most terrible at. And if anything, if I see something good done by any other players in 1v1, I'm just going to straight up copy them and then play that way.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a start to our 1v1 tournament, but it's time to move on to our second battle of the evening. Now, first up, on the blue side, representing Team Fire, one of 2 players to compete at every single World Championship. He just wants to play League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Pillow himself, it's Dyrus! And on the red side for Team Ice, hot off his victory in the 1v1 tournament at the International Wildcard All-Stars in Melbourne, representing the Commonwealth of Independent States, it's Kira! Well, it's time to load up and come out fighting.
Come out fighting indeed, the crowd favorite. You can hear it, Dyrus. They won't let him retire, man. They want him to keep trying to play League of Legends.
They do, but it's all about my boy Kira from the IWCA International Wildcard, defending 1v1 champion. The weather is not so great here, but as the Prince of Wales, I decided to bring the rain over. You can thank me later, California. I've got my scarf, IWCA, repping the pride. It's all about Kira, the champion, is going to dumpster retire us in this one.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you here, Stress, because Dyrus is going to be bringing the heat for Team Fire this time around. Let's see how it happens in picks and bans. We're already through it.
Yeah, already
Lucian
through.
Quinn got off the board.
The insta-lock for Caitlyn by Kira. Put this in perspective. Kira literally played 2 champions.
Why is this guy not AD carry?
It beats me. He beats some of the best wildcard AD carries. BRTT lost and got outplayed by Kira in a Caitlyn mirror matchup at IWCA. So at this point, I really don't know. Dyrus, this one should have been an easy read.
Well, you know, you heard in his game plan he was just going to try to go for the copy, but he can't copy what's blind. So let's see what he decides to pick up and if it's going to work out. There's still that Caitlyn available, some other AD carries, but Lucian, Quinn, all these off the board.
Oh.
If he locks this Malzahar, though.
Well, we heard Zyrene talk about it, the AD Malzahar, where you just try and all in at like level 2, level 3.
He's going for it.
It brand works. Mal's, for the very similar reason, with the dot, does do a lot of damage. I guess this was the result of Dyrus crowdsourcing earlier. You heard Crepo talk about it, Dyrus tweeting. I don't know what to pick for 1v1s. He's pretty much never had them. So he really is just going to go all in on this kind of half-cheese strat. I like it. I like the strat with the Malzahar. It's pretty good. But there is one problem with Malzahar, is if you don't have a sufficient size Voidling, when you actually go aggressive, the Voidling just dies and you lose a lot of damage. And you end up just giving CS for free. So you need a heavily stacked Voidling, which is fairly difficult to do in the early onset of the game. So wondering how this is going to go for Dyrus.
Yeah, well, Kira's definitely got a lot of experience under his belt for this one, coming out as that reigning champion in Melbourne. But, you know, taking on Dyrus as Malzahar, he's still got to be able to sidestep these shots that are going to be flying at him. And I really think that this is going to be a test of will for Dyrus.
Yeah, it will be. And, you know, it's going to be a test of his knowledge of the 1v1 map. Because Kira, one of the reasons why he dominated the 1v1 bracket is he actually knows this map to a T, which is a very weird thing to say about a pro player.
He plays ARAM a lot.
No, but specifically this scenario where towers deal extra damage to minions, so the actual last hitting mechanics are messed up under tower compared to Summoner's Rift. Also, Kira will go very aggressive over the health packs as they spawn.
All right, well, we are once again on the Abyss, the Murder Bridge, And so far, it's been true to its name. One kill has been claimed. Will there be another? Will we go to CS? Kira's going to fire that Peacemaker. It's silenced up for just a second, but Dyrus is already losing the trade in an instant recall out of Kira.
All about the map control for Kira. He sets up that ward straight away. He's able to judge exactly the distance on the Peacemaker. It's actually quite impressive how Kira was able to dominate the competition. As I was saying, watch for the health pack spawns around that 2-minute 30 mark. He'll just get himself onto the actual health relic and force his opponent away.
Now, by the way, you were talking about the 80 Malzahar pick and how a little early on it can do a lot of damage. This isn't the way Dyrus is going. He's built himself a Doran's Ring, and he's going to be going the much more traditional AP path. Now, let's see if it works out. He does have that Q available. The silence doesn't do a ton to Caitlyn, but Kira is abusing the ability on his passive to get more headshot stacks in the brush.
Yes, and again, this is another thing that we saw Kira consistently do, is utilize the brush, make sure he's stacking up that passive very quickly. I'm interested now to see whether Dyrus tries somehow to shove Kira in later on in this matchup, because Dyrus has already lost the pushing game. There you can see the first foiling of the game dies to Kira very quickly. Dyrus could be in trouble here as Kira is about to hit level 2 off that front minion. Will he go aggressive? Will be able to just chunk Dyrus down from the brush.
Those headshots are starting to sting. He has been hitting the Call of the Voids though, and now he's back up to level 2 himself. But Kira is just staying so safe on the superior range of this Caitlyn. He's relying on it, and it's not really being punished.
No, well, I mean, it's very difficult to punish at this point. The only way that Kira gets punished is if he's standing in his minion line when the Malefic Visions actually just spreads throughout the wave. So unless Kira somehow makes a mistake on that, I don't think he's going to get punished too hard in these early levels, just from the sheer range difference.
Yeah, it's just so hard for Dyrus to be able to combat this, and you can see the CS differential is still creeping up there. The Malefic Visions are chugging away on that cannon minion, but since it doesn't go down, it's not going to spread level difference. Kira just keeps stepping forward.
And look at him force Dyrus away from the health relic. Kira is fine to trade. He sits on the relic. He has Grasp of the Undying as well. That's one key thing that he always runs on these AD carries. He just constantly ticks the timer up on the minions and then auto-attacks the enemy champion because he has that massive range. And any damage that he takes just gets traded straight back with the health that comes to it.
Yeah, so even if Dyrus is able to land a little bit of damage on him, it just goes right back to it. Does get a nice Q between the minion waves. Kira's still able to chunk him out though. But Dyrus actually has a level advantage here for just a moment. We'll see if he goes a little farther forward with it. The Grasp of the Undying's flying back and forth, but I feel like Kira is able to just come a little bit further ahead on it. And then not only his main mastery here, but he's got that lifesteal on the Doran's Blade.
But it's so difficult right now for Dyrus to do anything. His health relic isn't up yet, and it's not due up for another good few seconds here. It's another about 15 to 20 seconds before it's due up. I believe it's 75 seconds on the map, so
Kira
it's
might get
actually 3:45 it's due up. You can see Kira shoving it in. He knows that the minion wave is coming. He has to shove this in the next 10 seconds and force Dyrus back, because then there's no way for Dyrus to do anything. He forces the recall and is going to get turret damage out pretty safely here as Dyrus has to get away.
Well, he's not going to back just yet. He's got his Voidling available, but he's running out of minions fast. Kira steps up, gets the health relic. Yes, he burns it away on a shot from the tower, but Dyrus is just zoned out of this farm. It is 30-16, and he is not looking too healthy. The Voidling's going to go down. Kira's still just trying to keep the minions within tower range so he can just keep on firing it down, and Dyrus has got nothing to do.
And this is the kind of situation that a big timer goes on to Dyrus now. He has to all-in Kira before he gets to 100 CS. There's a lot of time left here, and we'll see what Dyrus actually manages to pick up when he goes back. But Kira is going to win this at 100 CS. There is almost no way for Dyrus without a massive all-in, using the Ignite, using that barrier, and getting the ultimate down, for Dyrus actually to come back into this CS game. Caitlyn is just too punishing when it comes to having a lead on CS.
This is exactly what he's got to do. If he can ding 6 in time, he's going to get back to lane before Kira can. If he can manage to get up to that, land the Nether Grasp, finish the channel, and go Ignite, it's the only chance he's got, because otherwise Kira's just going to net away and keep kiting it.
And the key thing is that, people are saying, oh, just build damage, that's all you need, you're an AD carry, you'll win the trades, it's great. Kira knows he doesn't need it. He's got a Doran shield, he's got himself a null magic. All he needs to do is not die in this matchup, and he wins this game. And that is what made him so difficult to deal with in IWCA, because nobody seemed to ban both of the AD carries away from him, and Kira would just play for the late game, and if you made a mistake, he'd punish you before.
Well, Dyrus did manage to get his other health relic there. He is going to land the Q. He does get Malefic Visions on, but 4 CS traded over to Kira, and that's an ace in the hole. Dyrus takes a little bit more, throws down the null zone as well, and he's not 6 yet. He can't get another grasp. He does get some serious damage, and Kira's got to be careful playing with fire there against the Team Fire top laner.
Yeah, that was messy out of Kira. Dyrus actually just getting a lot of free damage up.
He's
He
got
has to
6.
be careful.
He's going
Dyrus,
in.
as long as he doesn't go
He's
into the
exhausted.
turret.
Oh, this could be dangerous, though. Kira steps forward. Dyrus is in the bush. He's heading straight for a trap, but he sidesteps it. Headshots are flying, though, and he has to back away.
Yeah, he has to back away. Dyrus even used his ultimate in that engage, and Kira was just able to get himself basically taking no damage during the entire thing, and that means that Kira is just able to consistently farm this up. Dyrus now has to rethink his strategy.
Oh, no, he's on the
oh,
trap.
the trap.
Headshots, vision. Kira just keeps trading back, and he gets the health back. On that last trade, too, Dyrus, he canceled his ultimate. It really was an inopportune moment for him, but he had the chance. He just didn't quite get it. Now Kira's just going to keep on stacking the CS. 54-31. Dyrus is staying alive, but this game could be over.
This game is pretty difficult for Dyrus.
Goes for the net, picks
Yep.
it up. Dyrus just can't get there in time, and he takes a Peacemaker to the back of the head.
Again, it's just all about control over those relics. No potions for Dyrus, there's potions for Kira, so all he has to do, take the relic, chug a pot. The actual effective health he gains from that, it just outweighs everything Dyrus can throw at him. The one thing to keep in mind, Exhaust is on cooldown for Kira. Dyrus has his Ignite, has his Barrier, and the ultimate is going to be up before Exhaust is available once again. So Kira has to respect that, because Dyrus can look to go for an all-in. It just is going to have to be a very well-placed all-in, because he's going to need probably a little bit of help from minions as well in order to take down Kira.
Kira's going to back here. He's got almost no mana. He's standing on the Hell Shrine, but Dyrus is going straight for him. Throws down the Null Sphere to stop that, and takes a little bit of minion damage, but he might look to go all in here. No, has to back away. A lot of damage from the Caitlyn.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't have his ultimate. If Dyrus had his ult, I think he may have gone all in there. Although he will pretty much need his full rotation to be able to do that.
Try.
See,
Not
the
quite.
boiling is starting to charge up, but is losing a lot of the potency as it's attacking the
trade,
minions. It is. It's a decent trade, but remember, Kira's got the pots. Kira's just going to sustain up here. Ooh,
Takes a lot of damage there. However, Dyrus still wants to trade back. He's going to throw down the barrier. Kira wants to try and push him further back, but Dyrus has got his ultimate up and available. Ace in the hole. Barrier is also popped on him. And he decides to go for it.
all of this is Kira buying time for his exhaust. That's really everything that Kira is doing here, is just throwing as much at Dyrus to force him not to engage. And as soon as that exhaust is back up, Kira knows that the game is done.
It's really just like a game of chess at this point. Dyrus, unfortunately, doesn't have as many winning moves.
The other thing here is Kira can recall very freely. The CS lead he has built up here, 72-47, means that Kira is never going to miss more than a wave and a half. He backs away, still maintains the lead, gets his Hex Drinker now, and is able to survive any kind of all-in that Dyrus should throw at him. And you can see now Dyrus has only just gone up to 50, and the turret is going to take damage, but it is not going to be enough to take the turret down. Of course, remember, 100 CS, turret kill, or first blood will win you a 1 versus 1.
Kira is intent on winning as much of it as he can. The reigning champion from the IWCA 1v1 tournament. Dyrus will go back and get himself a health pot to try and compete, but Kira's exhaust is almost back up. This is a dangerous moment for Dyrus.
It is, and you know, I'm actually wondering what Kira has for the rest of the tournament here as well, because he got one of the picks he was just proficient at anyway. And Kira does take a damage.
That's a big one. Ignites
Kira,
down. Nether Grasp is going. Dyrus is going all for it. Can he eliminate the All-Star champion? The Hex Drinker shield is on. Dyrus is out of mana and out of options. He's got to back away.
Whew, Kira playing that a little bit greedy. Couldn't get the exhaust off to begin, but he knows that Dyrus doesn't have the damage right now, and that may very well have been Dyrus' last hurrah in this 1 versus 1 tournament, because up to 87 CS now is Kira. It means all he's got to do is get 2 waves and 1 more creep, and that will be the end of the game. Dyrus actually may just lose. No, the minions, there's not enough minions there for him to take the turret down here. So Kira, does he recall away and just take the safe victory on this after taking his health relic? Okay, yeah, he does.
Just gonna let the wave bounce its way into the turret. Dyrus will pick up a decent chunk of this, but he is just so far behind. Kira needs 6 minions to seal the deal here. Makes that Hex Drinker. It is so hard for Dyrus to try and all-in him. That attempt just wasn't enough.
1 wave to win, which means Dyrus has to go all in on this next minion wave. There is no real option for Dyrus to win this. unless he can somehow kill Kira with no summoners for both of them. Dyrus has to go here.
He's trying to keep him off the wave of minions. He does throw a lot of damage. Dyrus is dancing just outside of the turret range, but the trap is down. Dyrus narrowly avoids it, takes a Peacemaker, takes a shot from the 90 caliber net, but Kira's got a headshot loaded, and he keeps firing. Gets another CS. Ace in the hole to Dyrus. There's the null zone, but Dyrus is so low here. How long can he afford to zone him out? Kira's having a couple of bad dreams, but Dyrus, he might be done dreaming for this 1v1 tournament. 4 more CS is all Kira needs. Jukes the Peacemaker, nets away. Dyrus takes even more damage on the backside of it, but he's still trying to hold strong. Unfortunately, the Boiling Smoke right in. Dyrus is so low here. 1 level down, the Malefic Vision still burning through.
All Kira's got to do, 4 minions, 1 more auto could do it.
Dyrus can't get out of the brush there. He's trying to get away, but there's the headshot. He wants to finish it in style. Not enough damage. Dyrus hangs on by a thread, but that is going to be the Nether Grasp. But that's it. Poros go flying. First blood and another victory for Team Ice.
Whew, as if it wasn't close enough on the CS. Kira goes for the kill. Played it a little bit riskier perhaps than he needed to, but I mean, this is what made it so difficult to beat Kira if you don't ban Caitlyn and Lucian. He's just going to pick one of the 2 of them and do that every single time.
It's a lesson hard learned. However, for Kira, you play with fire for a few seconds, and when that happens, you get burned just a little bit. So that one is all she wrote. Kira, the reigning champion from Melbourne, Australia there in that IWCA, CIS region representing, still going through this tournament.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, if I were Kira, we were talking about this a little backstage before. I was like, if I'm Kira, I'm just like, you guys practice for the 5s, I'm practicing for the 1v1. I've already won 1, gotta keep on going.
I mean, they didn't win the 5v5 out in Melbourne either. I mean, that went to Turkey.
Yeah, that did, but the amount of points that...
Spoilers, sorry.
Yeah, spoilers if you missed it from 2 weeks ago. But, you know, that was the key thing, was that Turkey put no players into the round of 8 for the 1 versus 1. If they'd have got 1 player, it would have been very different. But Kira just dominated that bracket. He's well on the way on this one, but he now has to go potentially either up against a teammate or up against, well, formerly Europe's one of their best mid laners. But now I guess he's North America, even though he's
too soon, man.
We're
gonna have to find out. But let's go ahead and send it side to Dash for just a little bit.
Thank you, gentlemen. Well, with 0 points on the board for Team Fire, things are looking dire. But let's see if our next combatant can make a change here. On the blue side, representing Team Fire, Team Solo Mid himself, the Great Dane in the mid lane, it's Bjergsen! And his opponent on the red side from the Commonwealth of Independent States for Team Ice, don't worry, his main's a challenger, it's Smurf! All right, gentlemen, it's time to hit the Howling Abyss.
Well, he may be smurfing, but let's see if he can take out the Burger King himself this time around.
Oh, no. Freak is inside. Freak's inside, we're outside.
Somebody's got to do it out here. Oh, wait. Oh, we've got somebody dressed up out here. Is that a Danish flag?
What is going on today? Like, Freak with these puns.
Yeah, all right.
Security.
He's trying to cheer him on. Yeah, can we? Hold on. We're having some technical difficulties, guys.
This is like.
Oh, he's getting him amped up, though. All right.
Okay.
Yeah? All right, we'll allow it.
Well, I mean, what I was going to say was Smurf, when it came to 1v1s over at IWC, he was okay when he played a couple of decent games. But I wonder whether Kira has just kind of put his team together and been like, this is how you win the 1v1s, guys. This is how you do it.
Yes. But Bjergsen has not just 1v1 outplayed. He's 1v2, 1v3.
Yeah.
You've seen a couple 1v4s. This guy isn't one of the most popular NA players without any reason.
True, but there's actually one good thing that favors Bjergsen here is he actually now will get 100% of resources from his team here in this game. It's not just going to be like,
nobody actually has to give anything up for it. That's the best part. Exactly. But we're in picks and bans already. We didn't talk about it as much, but we expected this Kindred to be pretty much pick banned a lot of the time. Wasn't the first game, but since then it has been. Varus, Caitlyn also off the board for Team Fire, and Urgot Quinn is taken off on the side of Team Ice.
Lucian's still available if
Not
he wants
anymore.
it. So Smurf is not playing by the Kira rules here, so looking to set his own setup. So if that Draven gets locked in, if that is locked in for Bjergsen, that was a pick that we saw BRTT pull out when he needed to in his own words, I don't think I've ever seen Bjergsen really play Draven.
No, we haven't seen a lot of people play Draven at the highest level, but if anyone's confident enough to do it, it is Bjergsen. He will lock it in. Maybe that's what he was getting whispered to earlier, but Smurf's going to be picking up Misfortune, and since she's been retooled, definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Yes, double up damage is insane. I'm just going to put that out there, double up damage.
Well, and the thing is, Smurf's going to know where Bjergsen's going to go because he has to catch those axes if he wants to keep it spinning.
He does, but, you know, Draven has a lot of damage in the early game, so
True.
I wonder if Bjerg can kind of dodge around that cone of projectiles against Misfortune, where, you know, double up can only go within the
He's got a speed boost built in, too, when you think about it. He should be able to do it. I mean, this is a guy that's definitely been able to sidestep quite a lot. I think the fans are ready for this one. They need a Team Fire win on the board. So far, in this 1v1 tournament, it's 2 to ice. We're going to be freezing out here if it's not going to change anytime soon. I like weather puns.
I'm giving you an ice-cold reception.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see what happens in this one. Is Smurf gonna keep things cool? I don't know.
Just stop it. Stop it, Pirates.
I really do have a lot of them, but I've been spending a little bit too much time with Freak.
Oh, dear.
Can't help it.
You bring us all over here, just Freak's puns just start infecting our entire broadcast.
It does, but
can we not, take the puns back in exchange for our EU players? I'm completely fine on leaving the puns in North America.
Yeah, but they're a dime a dozen. What isn't right now is going to be Bjergsen's axes spinning away. Smurf goes ahead and throws down the ward early on. Both of them rocking identical builds. Some Biscuits and the Doran's Blade. No surprise there with the pair of 80 carries.
But I wonder if anybody's running Grasp of the Undying in this situation, or whether they're running the Fervor Mastery. This is 523 that we are playing on as well, so it hasn't been changed yet.
It's a real crowd pleaser, Bjergsen is.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair to say. I mean, Draven is always a crowd pleaser, mainly because he actually imagines the crowd are chanting his name. So he always pleases a crowd, regardless of whether there even is one.
Well, there's always somebody watching. That's definitely the case. Starting off, Bjergsen will be hitting up those minions as Smurf steps a little bit outside the range of the axes, but Bjergsen's going forward, gets one, does have Grasp of the Undying, and he gets a first take of it already.
Both actually.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
You can actually see Grasp of the Undying when it's active by the kind of blue, ghostly, wispy indicator.
We'll talk about that in a minute. We still got the axes are spinning. Smurf's trying to heal back up. Bjergsen just keeps on taking the shots as he goes forward very low to start this game off.
No summoners traded, both running Exhaust Ignite, but the CS lead is in favor of Bjergsen and that effective health lead as well. Bjergsen only just taken his potion, so Bjergsen has to be careful he doesn't take too much
Stand
minion
aside. Smurf's got to be careful right now, but he does take a lot of damage. Ignite's on. Exhaust. This is going to be over quick, and it's first blood. Bjergsen takes the win for Team Fire.
And that was controlled and calculated from Bjergsen. Didn't even use his exhaust. Held onto it. He knew if he just holds that summoner, that is that game done.
Yeah.
Just continues to trade against Smurf, and Smurf drops very, very quickly. That was blink and you miss it on that 1v1.
Total time 153, and after that last game, we really, really had a quick one there. So Smurf will drop down, and that of course means Bjergsen is going to be advancing to face off against Kira. So there will be no team killing this time around.
There won't be, but I mean, Kira against Bjergsen. It's kind of like, well, I guess we were talking about Bjergsen, formerly Europe's best potential, one of their mid laners. Yeah. Now Kira, seemingly the IWCA region's best mid laner.
Well, he took out TSM's old top laner. Let's see if he can do the same to their mid. I mean, we'll have to find out tomorrow, of course, but still, a very, very convincing win on the board for Bjergsen.
I was going to say, I'm wondering whether Kira can, all kill the North American team here. Because Meteos is in this bracket. He'd then have to go through double lifts coming from the other side. So the only way he could do that is if he meets him in the final. So.
Which could happen.
Yeah, and then
Believe, believe.
Yeah, I believe. I'm trying to see what we can get from the bracket here and kind of figure out exactly what matchups. I'm looking forward to Bjergsen versus Kira, but I'm also looking forward to Prey and Huni. That is going to be a pretty sweet matchup.
We've got some great ones coming forward, but it's already been really fantastic. Now, as Huni and Prey settle in on the stage for their next matchup, let's hear your thoughts on this clearing clash.
오늘 좀 얘기 좀 나눴거든요, 훈이 선수랑. Before I came here, I was talking with him a bit, like, what are you going to play with champion like this? He doesn't say anything. 저도 게임을 워낙 오래 했던 선수이기 때문에 어느 정도 자신감이 좀 있긴 했는데 보통 탑라이너들이 계속 제일 라인전을 잘하거든요. his mechanical is really nice because he's a carry and then I'm just thumbnail.
좀 살살 해주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
Let's try win.
Well, Team Fire's finally on the board. We'll see if they can keep the points rolling in our next matchup here. And ladies and gentlemen, on the blue side of the Abyss for Team Fire, the deadliest AD carry in LCK Summer, it's Prey! And on the other side of the rift for Team Ice, you know him for his moves, both on and off the rift. Do it with me. Holo, 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 it's Hune! It's time to lock in your picks and come out swinging, gentlemen.
I'm going to miss those holos, but, you know, they can enjoy them here in North America next year. But Huni has definitely, I think, got a fantastic chance to do something we know he wanted to do if he picks up an AD carry against Prey this time.
He does. I mean, Huni's one of those players where when you kind of speak to people that used to, you know, work for Fnatic and work with Fnatic, there was always this, Huni's playing this. And you're like, no, Huni's not playing things like Heimerdinger. Don't be silly. It's not happening. That you're not preparing seriously. No, Huni actually prepares these kind of things. So Huni just could pick anything here, and I actually kind of trust in his 1v1. But now he's going to North America, and I'm not so sure. I think I have to go with Prey here.
You know, it's going to be a hard one to call because we really haven't seen Prey's true potential since he was kind of forced to play support in that last matchup. And now, 1v1, maybe he can let out that pent-up ADC rage that he's probably got building inside him as we get ready for this pick and ban phase. Quinn off the board, Caitlyn as well. Will the Lucian go? Not yet, but we have a Kindred to win.
This is like the happiest 1v1. Both of them already smiling. Like, I wonder when we've still got Cassiopeia up. That is a legitimate pick, by the way, in 1 versus 1. And I just wonder whether Huni is going to tilt the entire LCK region.
I mean,
by
it's
picking
one thing to tilt
Cassiopeia.
TSM. I don't know if you can tilt LCK as either.
That is true. We get to see that North American
that's true.
LCS next split. I'm looking forward to that. But it's all about this 1 versus 1 now.
Only AD carries and, well, jungler. Now the Lulu banned away too by Prey.
Yeah, Lulu. Yeah, Draven is gone. So I actually don't know whether Draven is that good. I'm not going to say it's not a good ban, but I just don't know whether it's that proficient. Just tilt him. Hashtag tilt him.
He's going to do his best, but he's not locked it in just yet. Prey's heavily considering this Kalista right now. And if he can get enough spears sticking in Huni, he may be able to take him down quick.
So it's a really interesting thing. We actually, talking to Rusty and some of the Oceanic casters when we were preparing for the 1 versus 1 tournament, we weren't actually expecting a whole lot of Kalista. It has been locked in. Just because Kalista depends so much on support synergy. The ultimate requires a support. The extra damage proc from W requires a support. But just the sheer mobility and ability to stack up Rend and then rip it back out for these early trades makes Kalista a very viable one-on-one champion, even though she only has 2 abilities.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Now, on the other hand, though, with the Ezreal locked in, I think this says one of 2 things. Well, 2 things, in fact. 1, I'm very, very confident. 2, I know I'm going to put myself at a disadvantage. I feel like this is not an optimal pick in this situation.
No, and I don't like Ezreal in 1 versus 1 because the minion wave manipulation is what 1 versus 1 is all about. So Huni now really isn't going to be able to hit a whole lot of Mystic shots. I mean, that's just going to bounce off the minion wave and, you know, oh, you did a little bit of damage.
There
but
is
it's
an
all
option
about
here.
the trading.
What if he goes AP and just shoots Essence Flux through the waves?
No, I don't want to see that.
Full harass.
I
Come
don't
on.
want to see that.
Come on. Do it, Huni.
If you were going to go something like that on AP, just pick Cassiopeia and farm
Well,
for
he
100.
almost did. But yeah.
Just farm for
That's
100.
not a Huni way to win, man.
True, that isn't a Huni way to win. And as I said, he could just pick anything and be fine with it. But now he's going up against Prey's Kalista. I mean, this would actually be an upset. Like, this actually is an upset if Huni wins this as Ezreal.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time he's done something like that. However, he's going to stay frosty as we take to the Howling Abyss. Prey on Kalista this time around. He's got 1 extra item, but he's got no one to stick it to.
Yeah, he's just going to put it
It's a
there
sad
as
Kalista
on
right now.
display, just like as a medal. It's like, this is what I'm going to use to kill you with. But, you know, at
Save
this
for
point,
last.
you can see exactly how confident Prey is in this matchup as well, because no Ignite. Prey knows that the Rend damage is just going to do too much to Huni, plus the barrier will keep Prey alive. So in any of these early trades, if it goes all in, Prey should theoretically win this. Just pop the barrier in exchange for the Ignite, and he should be fine.
Huni's going to take a forward position here in this brush and hope to catch Prey with a straight cube, but Prey's sticking behind the minion line just barely, so Huni's not going to have a chance to do it.
All he's got to do.
There we go. Oh, exactly. There we go.
Yeah, but he trades back against Kalista.
Yeah.
I mean, Prey, could easily just look to rend at level 2 here if he can just continue building the stacks, but will be a lot of time. Oh, actually takes rend at level 1 in this situation. I do like that just in case you end up kind of face checking into each other. And you can see Prey just taking the advantage already. Ezreal is such a difficult pick to make work on this match, especially against the Kalista, because Prey is just going to dodge around every Mystic shot.
To be fair, I didn't know Prey was going to pick Kalista, but at the same time, it's so hard to land the skill shots. It's so hard to be able to trade effectively. It's so hard to farm. Huni has just got so many things going against him this time around, and Prey just keeps behind the minions, has himself not too much of a CS advantage, but he does have a health bar one, and Huni will be able to land a Mystic shot.
Yeah, he will, but it's, trade it back. It's one of these situations I'm like, I really don't know.
Oh, nice. That's early. Huni's going all in. There's the barrier. There's the exhaust. Huni's exhausted as well, and he's just going to keep going for it. The minions keep attacking. That's it. Prey takes it. GG at 2 minutes.
I mean, there's the confidence in just running the barrier as well there. All you have to do is outlast the Ignite. And good sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship between the two. I mean, Huni banned away the Draven from Prey. Didn't want him to play his old name. Just making sure he puts him on his new main. But Kalista.
Huni did get to play AD carry.
He did. Oh, that took a little too long for me to
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it's the cold out here.
Yeah, well, it's your weather, man.
I know. I should be used to it, to be honest. But.
Just figures. One time.
Hey, look, it's fine. We're fixing a drought.
Yes, there we go. No, that's always look for the silver lining. That's what this guy does. And with that one locked up, though, Prey's going to be moving on next. We're starting to get a little bit more balanced out here with Fire taking a couple more wins, scratching them up on the board. And I can't wait to see what happens next, to be honest.
Well, what's happening next is Mad Life is taking on DeMonco.
We have actual supportal combat this time.
But Mad Life does have one checked up on his list here because he did win in 2013, and I believe it was the 2v2 competition. So, a little bit of accustomed to almost this kind of format.
Yeah, just have to subtract one from both sides. Now, as the support from the CIS All-Stars gears up to take on Korea's Mad Life, let's hear his thoughts on what it's like to be going up against the best of the bot lane's best.
Ну, Mad Life на самом деле для меня почти всегда был каким-то эталоном саппорта. Он, наверное, считается самым известным игроком в регионе, в мире. Ну, всегда считался за, так сказать, своих хуковых героев. Против него, я не знаю, если будет какой-то зеркальный матчап, то шансов у меня будет довольно мало, поэтому буду стараться как-то на пиках переиграть и уже в игре не облажаться.
All right, well, things are definitely starting to heat up here in the 1v1 tournament. Team Fire themselves picking up steam. Let's waste no time, get into our 5th matchup of the evening. On the blue side for Team Fire, back for his 3rd All-Star appearance, the OG Chain Warden himself, Mad Life! And on the red side for Team Ice, looking to coin his own support play, it's DeMonco! Gentlemen, start your clients.
The first time this 1v1 tournament, we will get to see 2 players from the same role going up, but we probably won't see 2 supports.
No, support champions not
80 Thresh, though. Could happen.
80?
It's Mad Life, man. I can dream.
Again, skill shot champions, not so amazing in this format, especially like hook champions, because like hooking a minion tends not to be
Is that kind of
useful. I think so. I think that actually would.
All right, we're going to see Kindred Kennen banned off the way. And see it goes back to Mad Life's side as things are starting to heat up. Tying scores here. Team Fire, Team Ice in the 1v1. Kalista's off the board. Quinn as well. We won't see any Valor this game.
No, none. Kennen is... The reason Kennen's banned, very good into melee matchups. Not so great into AD carries just because of his shorter range, but the stun really means you can punish any kind of melee matchup. We saw a couple of Renekton's coming out, but honestly, this time we're seeing so much just from AD carries in general, and Lucian's available.
Instantly, both hovered by Mad Life and DeMonco. We could be in for our first mirror matchup. It's locked in by the CIS All-Star support. Will Mad Life follow suit? Same pickups on the Summoner spell so far, too. Now, they will have some chance to change it, but I think this is exactly what they want.
Oh, yeah. I think this is exactly, as you said, what these two supports want. Lucian support.
Yeah, every support
I think
secretly wants to play AD carries.
You know, there's enough gold generation these days on supports. They can just get an Essence Reaver. Just throw it in there.
First buy.
Yeah, just get it as a first buy. Who even needs wards? Just 5 blue trinkets on your team.
I know, and that definitely has a lot of meaning in this particular game. Since the changes have gone in with those items, and Lucian has just become such a bully. This is why he's so popular. So he slips through the cracks in the bans, and he's instantly picked up between these two.
In 1 versus 1, it's all to do with the piercing light, clipping it through a minion, making sure you hit the enemy, plus then following it up with the double tap passive. He just has so much early game trading, and the fact of the matter is 1 versus 1s, you just go the most efficient items. You are restricted to 2 Doran's blades, so you'll see people go Doran's, longsword, and then just go all in.
Yeah, and pretty much, you don't need to worry about the builds after that because someone's going to die before it's over.
Lucian Mirror as well is just going to snowball super heavy.
Yeah.
So if you even get a lead at this point, it's so difficult to trade it back.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a test of will for both these guys, but Madlife is a name that carries a lot of respect, as we heard Demonko saying, and he'll get a chance to play Mirror against him. He can take him down. That's a big start for Team Ice.
It will be a big start. I wonder whether they're both running the same keystone. I would imagine Demonko is going to be running Grasp of the Undying. Demonko actually showing just how important getting bush control is to start this. Madlife now is forced around the outside. He knows he has to respect Demonko. And at this point, means that he isn't able to establish the first set of hits on the wave. So Demonko will get the first push on. Does Madlife trade back, or does he try and trade into Demonko as Demonko hits the wave? That's the question.
Well, that's going to be riding on this early level 1. When you have these mirror matchups, it really just comes down to execution. And now there's a little bit more experience for the CIS All-Stars on the 1v1 map so far, but Demonko reveals early. It's a tap on the minion, but Madlife now is able to push forward. It's the piercing light first on him.
Yeah, but Demonko's trading it back onto the wave, so that's the thing to look for. It's all about level 2. It actually doesn't matter if you get the CS as much right now as it is to just get level 2. Just rush to that level 2 point. You can see he's a whole minion up on this wave. So what it means is Madlife, yes, he will be able to trade it back effectively because there is no second wave to push it forward. But Madlife will hit that level 2 just a little behind Demonko, but he's taken a lot of damage for it as Demonko.
Yep, there's that level 2. Madlife just needs one more.
He dropped vision.
But he didn't quite get it as Madlife got his way into the bush, synchronizes it up. He's got the Relentless Pursuit. He's got the double tap, but Demonko's trading back. Piercing Light flying back and forth. And at the end of the day, it's still tied.
It is just about even. Demonko a little bit ahead in that kind of situation. Madlife a little lower on mana. Demonko has a little more health, but does trade it away with that Piercing Light. Also interesting, I believe when the CIS region were playing, if they're still playing Takira's rules, I think Demonko takes a little bit of mana regen runes as well in this situation. So it'll be interesting to see whether the mana gets punished here, because you can see just how low Madlife is getting here. Demonko is able to trade the damage pretty effectively, but neither of them has used their potion yet.
Now, hanging on to that one just in case they need it. There's the Hell Shrine. It's going to spawn. Madlife is just going to have to settle for a shot in the dark as Demonko now takes a Piercing Light as well, but he's still healthier than Madlife, and he's got more mana to boot.
Yeah, he does, and you can see Grasp of the Undying still active for both of them. The indicator on the hands there looks a bit like an airbender. But at this point, Madlife is so far... I know, right? That's the first thing I thought.
I didn't notice it till you said it, but we'll just have to wait. Madlife's taken a lot of shots here. And Demonko now finds himself a bit lower on the mana scale, but as you mentioned, he probably does have that extra mana regen to just keep it going a little bit more on this Lucian.
And at this point, Demonko is fine being 2 CS down in this matchup just because of the pressure he has on Madlife. He can go aggressive and force the trade, just as long as he's able to stay ahead in health right now, because 2-3 CS is fine. It's when you start getting a wave, 2 waves, 3 waves ahead that it becomes unmanageable.
Demonko's a lot healthier right now. He can just push these low health minions in. He's got a Relentless Pursuit, jump forward, gets that heal back from the Grasp of the Undying. Madlife is almost out of mana. He's zoned backwards. Demonko may be as well, but it's not going to matter as much because he's got the positional advantage.
He does right now. Demonko's mana regen is not actually that much. I would love to see his runes, just to see exactly what he's running.
Clutch Health Shrine.
Madlife will be able to get the Health Shrine Remember, 75 seconds is the respawn timer on those. Demonko not quite as good as his teammate Kira at actually pressuring that out. I'm a little surprised that they didn't put a bit more focus into the 1v1s, which sounds silly, but...
Put it all in Kira, man.
Yeah, just put it
still playing all right here. Now, Mad Life is going to get a Grasp of the Undying proc, but Demonko will be able to heal up on the Health Shrine of his own. So far, it really has been this full mirror. Mad Life CSing just a little bit better, but both of these AD carries, now having spent their biscuits, daring each other to back away if they can get just a good trade.
And this is a bit of almost a preview for later, when we actually have LCK taking on IWCA. So I'm interested to see how that matchup goes. It won't be two Lucians later, but it will, however, be Demonko versus Mad Life. So this one is for the bragging rights going into that matchup. And, Demonko is just not quite trading efficiently because Mad Life is dipping into the brushes every single time Demonko actually dashes forward.
Yeah, brush control very, very important here. And Mad Life knows how to use it. Demonko a little bit lower, but he does manage to get the Grasp of the Undying proc. Ooh. Now he's the one who's zoned into the tower. Mad Life's starting to push forward, and he's got a serious CS advantage here. Well, now down to 7 or 6 minions, but still, Demonko can't quite get the shot. But Mad Life keeps stepping in the brush.
It's still a whole wave, and Demonko's trying to... He's not actually recalling, but he's just trying to bait Mad Life to come forward, try and trade damage while the cannon minion is there, so the minion re-aggroes onto Mad Life, but it's not really going to work. I don't think Mad Life's going to fall for that. Honestly, this is starting to get to that kind of CS lead where Mad Life has a significant advantage now. Demonko, even though he had the health advantage earlier on in this match, wasn't able to convert it into a CS lead just from how efficiently Mad Life was ducking into the brush.
Yeah, now there's the calling out. Mad Life's just going all forward. He wants to push these in. Demonko's going to shoot his own ray of bullets, and they almost miss each other completely. It's like I'm watching The Matrix.
But look at this Demonko. The last hitting under the turret just isn't there. It's different from Summoner's Rift, remember, where, normally it's 2 hits onto a melee and one last hit from a champion to knock it off from the tower. But Demonko will go aggressive, land a little bit of damage, but I think he actually probably should have just recalled. If he's looking to recall at all, he should have done it then and let Mad Life back away because the whole wave wasn't there in time. Now Demonko is forced onto the back foot. Mad Life will shove this into the tower. Demonko is going to have to stay here to make sure he cleans the wave up.
Mad Life just continues to keep the farm advantage going. It's still very slight, but when you're first to 100, it's going to make all the difference. Trying to zone Demonko off of these last couple of minions, or at least just until they get into the tower range. Mad Life's on 62 to the 52 of Demonko, and he's heading for the tower.
Yeah, this looks like a Mad Life, being well in control of this situation for now. I don't think Demonko is going to be able to turn this one without somehow getting significant damage down onto Mad Life, then pushing the wave into Mad Life's turret and somehow getting back in time. That's a tough ask, though.
Neither support has gone for the all-in, playing very cautiously. However, Mad Life now has to contend with the ward that's in the brush. If Demonko can step forward, he can start punishing him again because he can't dip in and get the vision denial anymore. Unfortunately for Demonko, Mad Life just has that CS advantage. Double taps coming in, but still, it's not going to trade that much. There's the exhaust down. Finally spending summoner spells here. Double exhaust down. Mad Life getting low, but so is Demonko as he stepped forward into the minions.
It was starting to look good for Demonko.
Mad Life. He's got ignited down, and there is a calling out, but it wasn't used by Mad Life. Just a little low on the mana.
Demonko needs to recall now, and he actually has the advantage when these two get back into lane. Mad Life needed to try and stop that recall because the ignite being available means that Demonko goes back, picks himself up extra. Damage is what he needs right now. It will not be enough to go tanky. He needs damage with that ignite to kill Mad Life the next time these two trade. He's opted for a Doran's Shield and the Serrated Dirk at this situation, and a Cloth Armor. Demonko, you can't win this one on farming alone. You are 19 CS behind. You have to go all in with this ignite. Mad Life, if he just goes flat damage, oh my goodness, that is flat damage.
I don't think he's got enough swords there, Stress.
BF sword into double Dorans, into double longsword. So...
And a biscuit, just in case he gets hungry.
Yeah, one for the road. But Mad Life actually could have just gone tank and won this game on CS. That's just how it is.
I mean, he's just going to have fun this way. He's got so much damage here. Demonko's going to go forward. He's got his ignite. He knows this is his chance. He's going to send out everything he's got, but the calling only half hits. Mad Life steps forward, dashes his way back. Demonko wins the trade, but there's still a CS differential to contend with.
In this situation, Demonko going tank actually isn't the worst right now because he can output more damage. He can output a fair amount of damage onto Mad Life because Mad Life has no resistances here, or at least no
There he
extra
goes.
armor.
Dashing
There's
forward,
the
he's got the
Ignite.
Ignite spent. Now it's all even, and Mad Life can get back
Oh,
to his
Mad
health.
Life
Wait,
can't
he
get it.
can't, because Demonko is right there. Mad Life, he's got to back away now, and that's going to give Demonko a chance to shove in the wave and
Yeah.
take even more minions. But wait, Mad Life's not going.
But this is so good for Demonko, because the fact that Mad Life didn't try and go for the 100 CS win when he was so close means that Mad Life now has to stick around to keep this CS lead and now risk Demonko going all in.
Yep, gets another grasp of the Undying proc. Mad Life just trying to get a little bit of farm on the back half of it, but still, he has a CS lead, but the gap is starting to close. Demonko continuing to force him away from this. The Biscuit's been popped. Demonko already ate his, but Mad Life's a lot lower on health.
I feel like BF Sword, as good an item as it normally is for a bit of a damage spike on Summoner's Rift.
Not enough.
I actually feel like if he'd just gone Giant's Belt here, Mad Life would have been okay.
It's a good trade, but Demonko is going to have his back pretty soon. He's got to be careful not to get wiped before. Mad Life is smelling blood in the water, and he tries to go for it. Now it's Demonko that's turned away, and there's 6 CS to go before Mad Life can lock this game up. There is going to be only 4 available on the field. Even if he gets the perfect here, he's got to be careful, but Demonko, clock is ticking. He's got to shut him down. Goes for the all-in, but he's that much lower. Mad Life ducking and diving and dodging, but it's not enough. Mad Life will secure the win. Just like that.
Demonko had the window to get back in and took so much damage from Mad Life there in that last little end bit. That was a bit of a messy 1v1 as it got later. Mad Life opting for the very risky damage play in that kind of situation. You know, it paid off. Having the CS lead, you could win by 100 CS, but why win with CS when you can get that kill?
Stylish. That's the way you always want to win it. If you look at those 3, well, I suppose there's a few people on this bracket that might agree with you on that one, but I personally like to see that 1v1. I'm glad Mad Life went for it, but it was very messy. It was very risky, and Demonko almost chalked up another win on the board.
Almost, but didn't.
Not quite. It's Team Fire right now. I mean, they're on fire.
They're looking pretty good. Prey won, Bjergsen won. I mean, Marin and Dyrus didn't. And Kaza got a bye, so I don't think that counts.
Yeah, that one doesn't count. That's okay. But it really only matters at the finish line. But still, Team Fire definitely starting to scratch some back here. We've got some excellent matches coming up next, though. I really can't wait to see who comes out on top with Meteos, Rookie, and just going down for the rest of this bracket.
I mean, Rookie 2v1'd earlier. 1v2'd and won with no summoners. Got 2 kills and 2 summoners from that little exchange.
Hey, we've been surprised by junglers today already, though.
We have. I'll give you that.
Just saying.
I don't think Zach's going to be particularly...
No, probably not. But, you know, we'll have to see if we want to bounce around. But for now, we're going to go ahead and bounce it back down to Dash.
Thank you, gentlemen. You mentioned it. Team Fire starting to roll in the points here. Let's see if they can keep it going with our next matchup. On the blue side, representing Team Fire, the once and future king of the jungle, Zaan's real secret weapon. It's Meteos! And his opponent on the red side for Team Ice, from China's LPL. Don't let the name fool ya. He's no noob. It's Rookie! Let's keep this a GG, boys.
Well, and there we have it. Rookie taking on Meteos. As we just said a moment ago, it's going to be a tough match for the former Cloud9 jungler. But, you know, we've seen surprises today already. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, we have. This is another one where I'm like, I think a Rookie has this. I was proved wrong earlier, though. I thought Marin had it against Clear Love. So, I don't know.
Well, that was a very close match. And if this one is half that close, that will be a hell of a 1v1.
I just feel like Meteos has to come out with some cheese. Come out either with the brand, something with like a Heimerdinger.
Could happen. Well, we're going to find out. Pick some bands coming up right now.
Give me something...
Lucian band, Caitlyn band, just gotta take them away. Let's get some variety in.
Give me something spicy here, Meteos. That's what I want. I want something with a little bit of bite to it. What's he got?
Pick up.
Rookie's giving it a little while, though. He's not quite sure. He's like, oh, what do I want to burn? What don't I like? Mid-lane Lulu. Rise is going to get taken away. Not the best champion in one. We saw it a couple of times in IWCA. Didn't do amazingly well.
No, definitely not. Now, Kindred was very, very popular as well, and that's going to continue the trend of being banned. Misfortune also banned away, and that means Meteos just takes away the Caitlyn. So we will see some slightly different things this time, and unfortunately, we can't win it to win it. But Rookie knows exactly what he wants, goes straight for it with the Callista. Meteos takes a little bit longer to think about what he's going to take.
Urgot would be a fairly decent pick just from the way that Urgot's passive works. Get pretty tanky, just land those autos. Against Kalista, though, now they will be revealed. You can see Rookie is like, oh, Urgot. Oh.
Yeah.
Rookie's like, well, I gotta win at level 3. If I don't win at level 2, level 3, this one is dunzo. I'm gonna get like position reverse it onto tower.
Well, I mean, you can't dodge acid hunters when they're locked on.
Oh yeah, but you know, at that point, how good is Meteos' Urgot? Has he been practicing it?
Well, you know, he's had a whole year off to really just kind of play that solo queue game, so maybe, just maybe.
It's all been for this moment.
Yes.
This is what
exactly what he was for, preparing right now. That whole game earlier, that was all just a ruse. The 1v1, that's the real tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's, Urgot Zed, basically in the same kind of prevalence of champions.
I'm just going to let that one.
I'm saying is neither of them are picked very often in
No, that's true. That's very true.
So.
Well, we didn't see Urgot. You know, funny, we saw Urgot very, very early on in this last season as a very popular AD carry pick just because it was such an oppressive force that couldn't be killed easily.
I remember the old Tarek Urgot days. Those are the best.
Oh.
The whole that's
really had to remind me of
basically how like Team Mon into the LCS.
Uh-oh, crab people. Here we go. On into the Howling Abyss. And another Kalista comes out, this time in the hands of Rookie. He's got the barrier to Meteos' exhaust, which would be coming a little more in handy, I would think, against the Kalista. Stop that hopping.
But all you saw earlier in the matchup that we saw, I believe it was Prey against Huni, where, you know, Prey just held the exhaust and outlasted all of the damage that came from Huni and then just ran it. So all you got to do with the exhaust against, when you're playing Kalista against an exhaust, is just outlast the exhaust and rend after. As long as you don't die during the exhaust, you're fine.
I feel like this is just a very defensive move, too, if Rookie does decide to go all in and try to stack up those spears so he can get a big rend for the finisher. But Meteos should be able to poke him out if he can land the lock-on. So far, it's just going to be a bit of a farm fest, but there's a quick rend and Meteos takes a little bit of damage.
Yeah, only a little bit right now. Meteos gets the auto attack, he's like, my passive's active, got this.
There you go.
Got it.
Taking a little bit more damage, though, too.
Yeah, I wonder what Meteos is actually going to do. Is he going to go towards the actual tank build, is what I assume? Oh, that's a fair amount of damage. He's got to respect the red.
He's really taking a lot early. The barrier's on. I don't think he's going to win this level 1. The spears were just enough, and Rookie will finish it in a minute and a half.
Barrier into the exhaust is so good for Kalista. All you do, pop the barrier. They can't chunk through it in the early levels. Wait through the exhaust. Boom, pull those spears out. GG.
Stack him up, and he takes the win. Another one on the board for Team Ice. Fire was put out.
That is now stops the killing spree.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a good shutdown there for him.
Global shutdown there.
So, I mean, a big win on the board there. He's going to be facing off, of course. Looks like we could be in for some more Korean Ultra stuff action soon. And, of course, the LPL side is showing up big today.
Yeah, in fact, something we overlooked, actually, is Prey and Madlife go against each other next.
Yeah, I wanted to see that in now because I was like, wait a minute, that's going to happen too.
I'm trying to follow the bracket
I had two different things going on at once, so my bad.
That's what's going on down here. I'm not, like, sketching something.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, this is how the outcome is going to be. No.
I see tic-tac-toe.
No, yeah, yeah, you know, it's fine. It's basically how we're determining some of these 1v1s is I'm like, Madlife's going to win.
Of course.
That's how my predictions go. Yeah. Is do I have a prop like a Scarf for Kira? Do I have that kind of trust? Or do I just kind of roll a dice? And like, that's who I predict.
Your trust in Kira was very, very well played.
Oh, it was.
So far,
it was.
I don't know if anyone else from CIS is going to be able to replicate that success. We'll have to find out.
We will have to find out. And we got another player from CIS coming up next.
Oh, yeah.
And that is Lex against Westall.
On that note, we're going to send it over to Dash to talk about that one.
And talk about it I will. Rookie wasting no time getting some revenge there for Team Ice, but it's time to move on to our 7th battle of the evening. Spawning on the blue side for Team Fire, 2-time world champion contender, the title trickster himself, it's Westall! And his opponent on the red side for Team Ice, representing the Commonwealth of Independent States, he's here to be the Door's next kryptonite. It's Lex! Gentlemen, let's get in there and have a GG.
And here we go, ready to kick this one off. The 7th 1v1 we've got going today. And if there's one thing I love watching, it's Westor trying to 1v1 people.
Yeah, I just hope that unlike the Batman vs. Superman trailer, we haven't spoiled everything in the preview to this matchup, because I don't think Lex is going to do too hot here. So, I mean, at this point, Westor, he's used to his 1v1s. You know, Lex, his champion pool is not the Lucian Caitlyn. He plays Trist, he plays Vayne.
He did play Lucian, though.
He did.
But he may not get a chance this time. We've been seeing it banned hot and heavy here. Caitlyn's going to be taken off the board by Westor right away. And there is the Fizz ban. Lex says, no, you're not going to do that to me.
No, he's like, I could just play 80 carries into it, but fine, I'll just get rid of it. Don't want you to pick it. Don't give you your moment in the sun. Yeah. Or in the moon, I guess.
That's the look that just, oh, wait, that was banned? Okay. Well, you know, he's still got some options on the board. There's the Morgana banned away. That's an interesting choice.
Westor's like, Fizz is out, can I play TF? Is TF good in this game mode?
Is Zed still out?
So I actually would be interested to see him pick TF here. Lulu out as well.
There's a Lucian taken off as well.
And as you said, Zed is available. So
so
we
is
see...
Kindred. But
Don't, no, Lex don't.
He did this before, didn't he?
Okay, so at this point, Westor either goes something like a Twisted Fate, something with range. With, oh, Kindred is available.
Yeah, he picks it up.
So
it's a quick pickup.
I like that.
Plays a bit like the
Kindred
Callista,
has
too.
been locked in. It is more effective than Callista as well, because Kindred actually has all of her abilities available.
Yes, there.
So, there.
Plural.
Yes,
It's a plural
thank you very much. Lem and Wolf. And it is plural.
And it is going to be a LeBlanc lock-in. First, we're going to see this side of the 1v1.
Also plural when the passive pops.
Very true.
I don't know where I was going with that other than that. I'm kind of...
Okay, let's move on somewhere else. Classic Misdirection. The Ignite locked in, though, too. We've got a few more seconds before that could possibly be changed. I don't see that happening, though. It's pretty much like Westor's, like, Spirit Summoner spell.
I'm a little surprised at the Morg ban.
Yeah, it was a bit odd. It was a bit odd, wasn't it?
She's not the best at 1v1s. I mean, you can just shove Tormented Soil down and just constantly
you can
push
pretty much
in.
CS for days as long as
You can. It's not really a Lex champion. I mean, I know CIS played a little bit of Morg, IWCA, but that was in 5v5s, not in the 1 versus 1.
Maybe he was watching the wrong VODs.
Why are there 5 people on this 1 versus 1?
That's okay. Westor, you know, he still managed to get his hands on an assassin. We know that he just loves these to death, and him playing LeBlanc, I think, is a scary, scary thing, even up against Kindred. However, you can't get too close to the Wolf's Frenzy, because that is a very, very powerful tool in this 1v1 as we load up once again for the 7th time today onto the Howling Abyss. Westor on LeBlanc, Teamfire representing, taking on the Kindred of Lex.
I really wanted to see Doran's Blade LeBlanc. This is something that, you know, we were talking about.
You want AD on everything.
Just go AD to begin the game. It's so strong.
Oh, going in. There we go. Very quick Wolf's
Look at
Frenzy.
that trade. Look
crazy.
at that disgusting trade.
Oh, and the manner spam. He's a happy camper.
Ugh. Disgusting. I mean, it's not like AD would have done too much more for Westor in that situation. He would have a little bit more damage that Lex just would have gone straight back, so... It's not that big of a difference, but still, Lex is going to have an insane amount of damage in this early game.
Yeah. And he's showing why he didn't take the Ignite either. He really just doesn't need it to dish out a whole lot. He can just wait for Westor to go for the all-in and just outfight him in the zone. Westor's back. Clears away the ward, though.
Westor's picked up the sweeper. He's like, no, you don't get map control. You are never having map control at this point. So, good on you, Westor. Changing the meta.
Vision denial.
Yeah,
what he's all about. Lex is going to go jump for him, though. Force him back away from the minions.
You know, the other thing that makes Kindred really strong on 1 versus 1. Not only is it just her kit and how good it is, just at outputting damage early, and the ultimate that keeps you alive. Keep in mind, with Grasp of the Undying, plus the E ability that is going to come from Lex, that third proc, where you get health back, plus you have Grasp of the Undying, you get health back. Everything around Lex's kit is about getting health back and dealing a lot of damage in return. So the masteries play into Lex's favor as well.
Westor's definitely going to have his work cut out for him here. He's got some juicy farm that he's trying to pick up, but there is a lead already for the CIS AD carry. He's going to back off, give Westor a little bit of room to start working this one. Level 2s all around, but Lex should be able to counter-engage anytime he wants. A little bit more damage, does trade back, and he steps out of the Wolf's Frenzy. That was actually a good trade for the door.
Yeah, that was a good trade. That was a really good trade, and Lex was taking damage from the cannon minion there as well, so even at the end of that little trade, Lex was still taking damage And that puts Westor a fair amount ahead. Lex, his outfit has one isn't going to go for it.
He might need to now, though. Another good trade for Westor, as he's just able to jump out of the Wolf's Frenzy just outside the zone. Lex could not return fire onto him as effectively, but he will be all right. Not munching the biscuit, but he's getting the health back as Westor has to do that himself.
Yeah, very difficult for Lex, actually, to read Westor's aggression attempts using distortion to get himself in. So Lex has to be careful, but Westor cannot really step inside that zone. Ooh, gets the passive.
Yeah, Lex definitely took the good trade there, and he has a slight level advantage. Westor needs just a few more ticks on the experience bar to be able to match that one, but for the moment, Lex has the advantage.
Yeah, Lex has, well, both of them both have summoners up, but health potions still on for Lex. Everything is about the sustain game. 22 CS up to against 16 right now. There are a few minions extra in that wave for Westor as it pushes in, and Westor does manage to get that first one. These back minions are pretty easy to get. It's just one tower hit, one auto attack.
Lex is controlling this health shrine, though, and he manages to pick that up right as it respawns. 3.5 minutes into this game here. Westor has evened up the level game, but he's still behind in the CS department and just goes up. I completely missed that. I thought he went up earlier.
75, so you're looking at 230 and then 345.
I was reading the Grasp of the Undying. Funny enough, they look a little similar when it goes back to you.
A little bit.
I got you.
Right.
That's what happened right there, Strap.
Yeah, you did.
Social
But
Malice
it's okay.
jumping in, a little bit more damage. Not too much, though.
Not too much, but you can see Westor is trying to just stay up, keep the CS as close as he can right now. Lex is focused just on getting to that 100 mark. No real way right now for Westor to do too much. When he hits 6, may decide to go all in, or at least throw out like a double distortion onto Lex. See if he can land the chains. That really is going to be what is the indicator for Westor to see whether he can actually go aggressive, is if one of those chains lands. But Westor back to farming under tower.
It's pretty much what he's been having to do since the start of this game, but we definitely could be in for a longer one if Lex sticks to that CS strategy. He has the advantage of about 6 minions right now. They make that 7. Throws down the domain, or the frenzy, I should say, and Westor takes a lot of it, but he's able to throw the chains down, gets the stun up. Lex does not have the minion aggro, though, and he's not too worried about that.
Yeah, not worried right now. Lex actually going to have to back away and pick up his own health relic, so now he's got 2 very different timers to keep track of. Doesn't pressure out Westor's. I think Lex actually could have played that very differently and tried to push Westor back for his health relic rather than Lex peeling back to go for the defensive one. But Lex does hit 6 first. Westor still a little way away from that level 6. Does manage to hit.
Westor has to ult himself away as well. Unfortunate. Lex doesn't have too much mana, but he's hung onto his ultimate, hung onto his summoner spells, and he has got a lot in his pocket with this mini wave sending crashing towards the tower.
And at this point, you can see Lex pretty much out of mana. Westor has enough for about 2-3 spells to come out, so he can kind of force Lex back. Lex should just have enough for his ultimate to keep himself alive. Also has barrier to keep himself alive as well. So as soon as Westor goes in, if Lex feels like the trade is winnable for himself and actually would win him the game, just hits that exhaust, hits that barrier, and trades against Westor. The only problem with that is Westor goes instantly back to his initial position, and then you just wasted 2 summoners. So Lex has to be careful on exactly when he reads Westor's order.
Jumps in, gets some arrows. Westor's going to go for it. That is a massive burst. He's going to get some back, but a great trade for Westor.
And there you can see, Lex knows Westor isn't going to kill him, so can't afford to use his summoners. He has to hold on to them and just hope that Westor doesn't go for the all-in right after the first one. Lex does pick up the health relic, so we'll pick that up, be able to go back. Does still have 10 CS in the lead, so Westor will be slower on the recall and won't be able to make up the CS difference here, but Westor is just going to have to shove this into tower. It's a cannon wave, though, so that isn't going to happen anytime soon. So Lex will come out ahead from this little minion push trade that's going on here.
It does give Westor a little bit of an opportunity to grab some of the minions, reclaim the CS differential as he jumps forward, pushes that one in. Unfortunately, Lex is just about due to arrive, and that means he will be able to pick up a bit of this. 1, maybe 2. Nope, not even. There goes the cannon cannon over to Lex. Continues his lead, continues growing it. As Westor's had to back away, let's see what he does go ahead and pick up. Not quite enough for the Morellonomicon.
Yeah, still a way away from that Morellonomicon right now. You can see he does pick up a couple of health potions to go alongside the parts of the Morellos. Hex Drinker on the side of Lex is going to keep him pretty healthy here.
It's a sustained battle. That's what we're in for.
It is. I just wonder, can Westor actually burst Lex down with these items? I'm looking at it.
It's going to be hard with the Hex Drinker shield, though.
Yeah.
That's the really difficult thing. And he's going to go ahead and start trading. Not too much traded back. He even avoids some of the minion damage. And Lex will be able to return a little bit of health to himself thanks to the Grasp of the Undying. But Westor just, the threat is ever present. This guy is just so dangerous when you give him an assassin.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to read the damage that Westor has. The first distortion did about 200.
That one did a bit
now
more.
He goes
but
all in.
There's the Wolf's Frenzy. The chains are on. It's going to be stunning up, and he takes a good trade against Lex, but Lex is going to try to get a little bit more back as the Sigil of Malice flies in his face.
Oh, Lex is having to just make really tough decisions here because Lex has to basically wait for Westor to use his summoners before he can react. Then Lex uses his in response, and the cooldowns are basically the same.
Westor
No summoners yet. There's the exhaust.
Double exhaust is down. Westor, the clone's ahead of him, and he has to back away. Lex wins that one handily, and the Ignite's down.
Lex comes up so
oh, wait,
big
baby,
in that trade
not yet.
barrier.
Lamb's Respite, instantly staying alive.
And gets the health back from it. Barrier is still available for Lex, so keeping his cool, knowing his ultimate was there.
Still got barrier, too.
Yeah, exactly. He has that barrier available, double Dorans, and the Hex Drinker shield was popped. So, it's very difficult to kill Lex right now, but
a lot
2 out of his 3 defensive abilities are no longer available. Only that barrier remains. And at this point, Lex just stays in lane. I actually am not too sold on him going back for his health relic there. I mean, he didn't have too much to do there. And sure, it takes it away if Westor ever manages to get up there, but kind of prefer having that available. He will get a little extra mana from it. But he wasn't suffering all that much to begin with, and he hasn't forced Westor off his own once again. I'd like to have seen Lex hold the map position and force Westor not to be able to pick up his own health relic.
Despite the mistakes, however, he does maintain this very healthy CS lead, about 7 ahead, and that means only 15 minions to go before he can finish the game off with minion style. And with Westor having to go back here, it gives Lex another chance to send these minions crashing into the turret. Westor is going to try to jump for him, but he's not going to be able to get much there. Just has to double distort his way through to clear the wave.
At this point, Westor's best bet was not to push that wave out. Westor needed that wave to push towards his turret so that Westor could somehow try and drag Lex forward. Lex actually recalled there, and that is going to give Westor this wave, so that benefits Westor. I'm a little surprised that it let Westor basically even CS. Now, if any of these die to this turret, Lex could be in trouble. Westor did miss 1 creep off this wave, though.
Yeah, Lex is going to be up here, but...
That's 1 to the turret. So that kind of evens things up.
Just barely. Sigil of Malice not going to do too much. Grasp the Undying will heal it back up. So, all said and done, there's still that 5 CS differential. When it comes to this endgame scenario, that's still giving this advantage to Lex, and Westor knows it.
Oh,
he's got to go in, but he misses the combo, taking too much damage. The clone is popped. Lex finds the right one, wants to win it with the kill, but the health relic spawns at exactly the right moment. Nonetheless, Lex is so close to finishing this game. He's got the minions to do it. CS victory at 10 minutes, 50 seconds.
Yeah, that was Lex keeping his cool, keeping himself
staying alive
in this game, and actually now puts another CIS player into the round of 16.
2 out of 3 so far. Not too bad for the International Wildcard All-Star winners as he takes out the door.
Kicks the door down slowly.
Well,
that's basically unscrewing the hinges and like doing it in just the most manual way possible. Takes off the handle, takes off the lock.
Slowly walks away with it.
Yeah, just... I mean, that was a bit of an anticlimactic one, but honestly, Westor pushing the wave. Oh, that was painful to watch. I'm not so sold on
mistakes
that.
were made all around, but they'll have some time to review it, look back to it. But for now, we're going to go ahead and send it back to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, guys. Great casting of those 1 versus 1s. It's All-Star. It's a whole lot of fun. We saw some interesting strategies, some different strategies. I do want to pull up a replay first of the Clearlove Marin kill because the jungle pride, it's still there.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. We can roll the clip out and see what happens. Kobe, you want to run us through this one?
I mean, this is the kill that he gets, so he lands the entire stun.
Well,
There's not much to see there, Brad.
Thank you.
Brad landed all 3 abilities, freak. Whoa! And he skill shots. Kaboom!
Why would you play Lissandra then?
Why would you play either of those champions?
No, Brand is good. Brand is fine. You need something where at level 3 you can all in and you can take someone down. What is Lissandra going to do? Q, ha ha ha, run away. Like,
Well,
that's it. You do nothing else.
He had the full wave control. He had the CS lead. Then the jungler goes for the kill, and he gets it. That was the only way, you know, Clearlove is going to come up with that victory.
Because Brand, at level 3.
Yeah.
There we go.
I actually like that as soon as Kira took to the stage and played his game, literally every player after him all picked, like, Marksman and Grasp of the Undying.
Yeah.
And, like, Dyer said, oh, I didn't really look at it, and, like, these two did, like, whatever, but, like, as soon as that happened, it was like, you're right, that is better. Like, as if, like, they didn't watch IWCA at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Why
a
didn't
different
they prepare
mode,
for the
so-
one-on-one tournament?
Definitely,
What
just
kind of
to watch
swag
the
is that?
VODs.
Not a lot of the players prepared for this. Some of them did, and you can tell who the ones who did are.
Well, and Kira, again, it's not just that he picks those champions like Caitlyn and Lucian, but the way he moves around the map, he knows exactly when those relics are
He's got the
spawning. He
timers.
gets in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, it's great, yeah.
I mean,
Let's see.
I mean, you can know relic timing. That's not like.
I mean, it's a great throwback because, like, Russians are known for being, like, really, really great Quake players, and that game was all about timing items respawning around the map, so Kira's just, like, keeping the tradition of, like, Cooler and all these guys alive.
I do think we're going to see him fall, though, because he actually made a lot of mechanical missteps
Yeah,
in
sure.
trades that he was taking.
Yeah.
His strategy
Yeah.
is unparalleled. That's the strategy to win.
Still.
I mean, was it 6-6-18 is the way to go.
Mhm.
So as you get all of the sustain that you can possibly
Yeah.
get, and then just
Isn't
pick
he
an
running
8 carry.
0, 12, 18?
No, it's 6
No,
18 because
6-6.
He runs
Feast is
6-6.
super important.
Okay,
Feast
so-
and potions
At the
and
wildcard
Grasp of the
tournament, yeah.
Undying. That's how you win in 1
Yeah.
versus
Yeah,
1.
yeah,
Yeah.
He
you
had
have to
the
sustain them.
biscuits at the wildcard tournament for some of the matches.
But
Yeah,
you
well,
do-
that's 6 points in. You can get that anyway.
You do make a good point, though, Kobe, because he does sometimes overstep his boundaries, so maybe people can get him there. Let's take a look at one of the other matchups. Bjergsen versus Smurf, again, a CIS player, and that was a good one. It was Draven up versus Misfortune, and they just got straight into it.
I mean, Draven is going to be one of these AD carries that if you are really good at playing Draven, have good mechanics, you can pull him out in these one-on-one matches. We can just roll the clip and we can see Bjergsen get early level 2, which is another big deal. The guys who just aggressively push wave at level 1 to get early level 2 will always be able to do this. And it's so hard to trade back, and it's getting close, but under control.
He played it so well, too. He played exactly at turret range. If he takes one turret shot, Bjergsen loses the entire game instead of winning it right there. Also, I was surprised he, now it makes sense, of course, he learned stand aside at 2 to say, no, I'm going to keep you from getting to your turret as opposed to, like, blood rush to keep up. And it's like, no, this is when I can all in, right on the minion, here we go. I was just a really well-played fight.
Definitely, where they played, and of course, Bjergsen had a little help from a spirit animal there who was helping him before getting into
Yeah.
the game.
That weird Danish flag guy?
Oh, wow, what was
Wonder
that?
who that was.
Probably Kobe.
He looked pretty buffed.
We gotta say. In any case,
So
that means
definitely not you.
Exactly, right? That's it.
Still might be Kobe.
It was Kobe.
Tons of damage.
Yeah.
we'll see if it pops up again. In any case, 7 duels down and 7 players have been knocked out. Let's pull up the bracket to see who is still in the competition. And well, that is Fire, 3 wins, Ice, 4 wins in the 1 versus
Keep
1.
it a tradition.
Isn't it?
Oh, wait, no, never mind. Never
What?
mind. No, we're
What?
just going to
What?
move on.
One cool
No.
thing.
Whoa.
CIS.
He's actually back down.
Yeah. What is this?
Wait, no, yeah. Karsa beat Bai, so it's really 4 and 4.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling bad actually.
Man.
After that. No, in any case, but only the top 4 place players in the entire 1 versus 1 tournament do get the points. But it is, again, 4 wins for Ice, 3 for Fire, even in the 1 versus 1.
I mean, the fact that CIS is coming in and Kira and Lex is winning, like, obviously for them going into the 5-on-5, it would be very difficult by taking on LCK and so on. But, like, the fact they're doing well here is super important for Team Ice, because people are obviously looking at them and saying, what can the wildcard team do? If they can keep this going for top 4, I mean, they got Rookie and Bjergsen in the next few matches here, so that's obviously going to be very difficult. But beat them, and then suddenly you are doing well.
Wouldn't count them out just yet. We've seen what they can do.
Win and
especially when
suddenly
it
you're
gets-
doing well. What great analysis.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
good
it.
stuff.
That's how it is.
Isn't Rookie on their squad too? He'll get points for Ice.
Oh, true.
So
yeah.
Win-win.
if you lose to Rookie,
That's true. It doesn't even matter. Move on.
All right, a lot of fun here, and as we celebrate the end of the 2015 competitive season, here's a sneak peek at the newest addition to the Challenger lineup that will hit the Rift to kick off 2016. Very beautiful out there.
Looks a bit like
wonder who that
Kobe.
is. Looks a bit like everything
You're
looks like
just
Kobe
you're
come to
constantly
you.
dreaming of me. You're
Yeah.
constantly seeing me in all of the art all across
The fact
the
that I
studio.
got to cast with you for the first 2 games, that was like a dream coming true.
But
You're
you're
welcome.
also you're also the guy that calls the players and everyone else, oh, that's a handsome man, that's a handsome guy. So
Is
only
it
be
wrong?
fitting.
I mean, am I
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's getting a little weird here.
Yeah, it is. So we're
Yeah.
going to step away, but don't go anywhere because in just a few minutes, Pulse will reveal our North American big play of the year. And as we go, we'll get a look at some of the skills the LMS's Ole brings up to the Rift as he gears up for the next regional clash.